Welcome back. I'm ready to get the rebuilding some cars. Try to get closer to $1 million on this game. Audio kind of sounds like ass again. Let's see if that's any better. I doubt it, but we'll try. Alright, left off. Got our garage expanded. Got our welder now. Got our rebuilding tables, our rebuilding body tables. Our engine stand. Doing pretty well for ourselves. We're level 16. So we can go to the auction now. And we bought our first two vehicles to rebuild. Auction vehicles, I should say. Seeing as how we already rebuilt two other ones. And we got 64,000 to rebuild them with. Now, the one thing about the auction cars, you pay a little bit more. We paid $37,600 for this one. And we paid 57, a little bit over 57 for this one. Now right now we can sell both of these. We can make a couple grand profit on each one. But we're not going to do that, we're going to rebuild them. Now, the good thing about buying auction cars, the bad thing is you're paying more for it. The good news is they're more complete, and if you get them in good enough shape, you can rebuild everything, repair just about everything on the car, as opposed to having to rebuy everything. So, I don't know. You got some good and bad with them. What we're going to do is we're going to pay attention to how much we're going to spend on both these cars, both in how much we paid. Um, let's see. We'll say how much we paid, starting value, our starting bank account, uh, end value, just how much it's worth once we get done rebuilding it, and ending bank account. So we're going to start out with 64,000. We'll rebuild this car right here first. And then said I paid 57,300, and I'm gonna say starting value. We'll say is what the sale value is right now. So 62,744. All right. So we'll go ahead and get the rocking on this thing. Because so we can keep track of how much we're going to make on this car. We're going to do one car at a time this time, whereas our last build we kind of tried to hit them both at the same time. So let me do something real quick. I should have done this first. I want to make sure I don't have a bunch of shit in my inventory. Did I sell everything? I did not. Okay, so let's go make sure there's nothing fixable in our inventory. Yep, nothing. Yep, it's nothing rebuildable. So Make sure I don't have no batteries. Yep. So let's just go and sell everything out of here. Well, we don't want to sell stuff that's 100%. Somehow, how did I end up buying too many piston rings? And I got these here. I don't know. We'll just go down to 99%. There we go. We're not going to worry about this stuff. If we end up using it, we'll use it. If not, we won't. What do we got in here? Let's see. Tab. There we go. So I need to keep in mind that we got a few things in here. You know what? I had this in here because this was repairable in the last game. But as you can see, there's some stuff I can repair if I wanted to, but we're not going to right now because that'll skew off our. Uh, you know what? I just thought about something. We already did kind of skew off our starting price by selling that shitty inventory. So I gotta go to the starting bank account and change that shit. Didn't scoot off by much, but still, I wanna try to be as accurate as possible. So we'll go 461. There we go. Starting bank accounts saved. So I always start off with the body. You always start off with the body, engine bay, and interior. And everybody's probably a little different. But that's how I like to start it. Make sure we drain everything that we don't end up costing ourselves money that we don't need to be costing ourselves. Granted, it's only 50 bucks, but still. 50 bucks, 50 bucks. Oh, crap. We're not going to pull nothing off the motor. We don't really need to do that all separately. I'm pretty sure this can be pulled from the bottom. We're going to pull it there for the... Alright. Everything's pulled off the body. So I'm gonna go repair some shit. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff engine bay wise is all stuff that's not repairable, I don't think. I do like that all the body panels are here on this car, so even though we won't have to do a whole lot to it, it'll be all the same color. Because, as you remember, I have not unlocked the paint booth or nothing. I don't plan to, at least not anytime soon. I'm gonna go buy. I said I live in Indiana, so I've just been buying Indiana plates. But you can buy whatever plates you want. Plan on going to stripping this, but let's go ahead and throw the body together. Let's see, we need windows. Just keep in mind, none of the windows repair. Cannot repair them. Another thing that can't be repaired: headlights, taillights. Now, pretty sure this car has fancier stuff. We're not going to worry about the bumpers, but let's go ahead and buy the fancier headlights and taillights. I think it. Now I'm thinking about it, I think it had the fancy taillights in it. Did it not? I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, it had the fancy stuff already in it anyway. I don't remember having the black bumper though. Did it have the? Yep. Well, it already had all the fancy stuff on it. So we'd have been downgrading if I'd have went ahead and put the factory shit on there. I'm pretty sure that the body on this thing looks way too nice to not have pretty high condition frame, aka the body of the car or whatever. Because anybody, if you watched the last streams I did, the repairing the frame only really helps if you're like 50% down. Once you get up in around a 60% range, it's pretty close. I think I was at what 63%, I think, on the frame of the one car that we redid. And it only gained me like $200, I think. It was something pretty minuscule. For whatever reason, they made it to where we can repair our seats, which is kind of makes sense. You can redo seats. Now, usually since you always had to rebuy seats anyway, because in console version you couldn't repair them, I would just always go ahead and buy new seats, and I'd always just buy whatever the most expensive seat there was. And I don't know if we own. Yeah, this right here, the Porsche Carrera seat, $1,500 a piece. That's unreal. I used to put that seat in just about everything I rebuilt because I feel like it gets the money back. We're not going to worry about it this time though, just because with this quality of life mod, you can actually rebuild or repair your seats. Let me see. We are going to pick a most expensive old-fashioned steering wheel. These Bandits 350. This old Porsche wheel's 400. Oh, here we go. The DB85 is 525. It's pretty expensive, and it's pretty old. I think it's the one we're gonna go with. Maybe. Make sure I ain't no more. Yeah, the Typhoon's kind of close too, but let's just go with this one. Now we should be able to put together our interior. Pretty sure I repaired all the seats. Oh, what I was getting at earlier is quality of life minute where you can repair seats, but you can't repair your steering wheel, which I would argue that you probably could repair your steering wheel in real life too, especially an old one like this. But nonetheless, here we are with the body interior completely reassembled. Mind you, I still got stuff out of the engine bay, so value's still down because of that. But I wanted to see the frame is 90%. Yeah, there is no way that we're going to even bother uh, trying to repair. Oh, sorry about that. Repair this frame. We would completely lose money on it. As you notice, the interior doesn't show as being 100%. In order to do that, we're going to go over here. I don't think the wash really does anything for you value-wise, but the detail does, because that last 2% should come from detailing it. Which I thought I detailed this thing already, maybe not. I did put the right wheel in it, didn't I? Like so. Yep, 100% now in the interior. So let's head back over. Let's see. What is it that? Okay, we need this. That is the only thing that is confusing about this. Is that they've made these non-repairable. I'm almost positive you can repair these in the console version. So either the makers of the game made it that way, or the makers of the quality of life thing made it that way. I don't know which one's which. I think it's nuts. Oh shit. Relays ain't in here. An idiot. Okay. Electronics. I need to go charge the battery as well. So there's only one of these. Yep. One of these. One of these. And one of these. Over here. 82%. Charge already? Yep. That's fast. Need me one of those real life. Kind of thinking maybe for like a accurate comparison. Maybe on the next set of cars I buy, I'll buy one. I'll try to buy the same car, same model and everything, but I'll get one that's completely destroyed as opposed to one that's completely together like this. We'll see which car has the better value in the end. The one you gotta pretty much buy all new, or which one, or the the one that you get that's already pretty much together that you just have to repair everything. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Alright. Let's see, what have we got in our inventory so far that can't be repaired? Got a bunch of stuff. A lot of good parts, but that are 80% or higher, but we don't really need them right now. So we're gonna sell them. So keep in mind, we got parts in there 100% that we don't want to sell. That gave us another 2,000 back. We're doing pretty good so far. We've redone the body, the interior, and some of the stuff in the engine bay. And we've only spent what, $2,000, I think. Not bad. Definitely want to do that. Something I'm not real sure about either is I don't think that adding fluids to the car adds value. I don't think it does anyway. Everything on this car is like very good shape. Like this probably would have been a good in-game car for me, like in my console game, because that's what I would look for. I'd look for cars that were like this, where almost the whole car is in the 80 or 90% that condition-wise. What was the mileage on this thing again? 132. That's not bad. Consider the year of the car. Now we can't repair the tires, so we will be putting much more expensive tires on it. And I don't think we can. I mean, we can repair the brake disc if we buy that, but we're not going to. So I probably will buy like the fancier brake disc. Oh, come on, man. Well, something I kind of memorized, or try to memorize when I was rebuilding cars all the time, is I try to keep track of how many bushings I use. So the front of these old muscle cars takes 12 of these bushings. You got 4 in this, and then 4 on each side. So I already know right off the rip I gotta buy 12 of these bushings because they can't be repaired. And then on the back, you got the leaf spring suspension. You got 4 small bushings. Oh shit. Alright, we're not going to mess with any of that. That's all, we'll do all that with the motor. Well, oddly enough, I just noticed that this does not have uh, leaf springs suspension on it. I thought it would. That's 2 more rubber bushings. You have to have at least 4 more rubber bushings. I think we're gonna have more up here too. Yeah, just 1 more. I think we need 18 rubber bushings in all. Surprised they let me taking a lot of this stuff off, even with the wheels still on it. Come on. Just notice there's bushings in here too you gotta take out manually. Now we need like 20 bushings, I think, altogether. Yeah. All the suspension is off. Get this motor pulled out. There we go. That on there. Let's go and start repairing shit. This might take a minute. Everything's in such good value that it's easy to repair it, which is nice. A lot less chance that I mess something up. I will say that something they added in here that can be repaired that seems odd to me is this exhaust stuff. I'm pretty sure in the vanilla game you cannot repair the exhaust at all. because I always just bought performance exhaust since you had to replace it anyway. Maybe you could though. I don't know. It's been a while since I played, so I have to look into that. I really don't think you could. Yeah, shock absorbers. For sure you couldn't repair those before. I think there's a lot of differences in the game right now. That are quality of life stuff. Keep that in mind. If you're watching this and you play console, you still use the same concept. Just know that a few of these things you will have to probably buy new of. Alright, now, something else that we need to do is take these apart. Shit, spinning too fast. Alrighty, repair these couple wheels here. Bam. Alright, now we get to go through our inventory here and make a new list of all stuff that did not repair and we gotta have. I really take off 4 of these? I really don't remember taking off 4 of those. Alright, we'll go and put this in the shopping list just so that you can see the size when we get in there. I'm only get put one of those in the list. I know how many to get though. Need 20 of them. All that repaired. These did not repair. This did not repair. These. Alright, this should be it. This is stuff we have to buy. So let's see what performance stuff we can buy here. I can tell you these two probably not. We'll try just in case. But yeah. I think you can buy colored bushings. No. Hmm. There's some stuff in here that I thought you would be able to get performance variants of, but I think how it works. All right. I'll tell you how it works. All right, so brake disc. We know we need 2. Let's get these. My God, that's a rear brake rotor. Huh. That says rears. So let's not get that one. Let's go ahead and get And I don't know if those will work on this or not. We're not going to get those. I'm afraid they won't work on this car. I think they will, but just for the sake of it, I know these will. These are vanilla to the game, so we're gonna get these. These aftermarkets, I don't know if they just work on anything, so we're not gonna get those. What I do want to try though, if they're not super expensive, are the bushings. I think there's some colored bushings in this aftermarket set. Yeah, these bushings, smalls. Just out of curiosity, we're gonna buy 4 of these. Only $100. If they don't work, I won't be like real sad. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna go ahead and get our other parts though. We know we need 2 of these. Said we needed 4 of these. I don't know where the other 2 are. There's usually only 2 in the front when you got drum brakes. But they would have had to gotten into our inventory by taking this thing apart. Alright, so we bought 4 of these. And we needed, I'm pretty sure, 20. So we're gonna take the chance. I'm just gonna go buy 16 for now. There we go. Buy all this shit that we need. Shit. Hit the wrong buttons. Oh, no, don't buy these. Not buying those. Let's get rid of these. Let's go buy some tires. We need 205, 70, 15. 205, 70, 15. We're going to go a little bit different. We're going to put 255, 60. No, let's do 2. 205, 55, 15. And let's do 2. Oh, shit. See what that does. Alright. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put these back together. There'll be hundreds now. Let's get these wheels put together. Probably should have bought some different rims so they look a little cooler, but oh well. What was the last one? Was it? Oh, Ken, you dumbass, bro. Jesus. Well, at least it was the one I just literally put together, apparently. I do like how there's no repercussions if you accidentally put something in the wrong spot on the wheel balance. You just spam spacebar and it doesn't give two shits. All you gotta do is put everything back together and just make sure everything's got 100% on it as you do so. That's what I thought. We're not going to use those later though. I was right on that. You can't. That's how you. Even though it doesn't show up when you're shopping listing them, it's just like the ventilated disc. Even in the vanilla game, those don't show up either. If you're trying to use the shopping list, you gotta manually know that you can buy those. I do find it weird that it didn't let me put one in there. So can you not put them in that? But yeah, I guess it would. I don't know why it doesn't give it to you as the first option. Usually your performance part will be listed as your first option typically. Oh shit. It did it that time. But not that time. Fucking weird. Oh, that's where the other wheel hub bearing comes from. We want to use the wider wheel in the back here. I don't know how that's going to look. It looks gigantic, bro. That might have been a bit much. We'll see, though. Going all the way up to a 305, I probably maybe should have went even further down in the profile, tire profile. It might look okay, though. Yeah, that's where I was going to use the red ones. I was brain farting there for a second. We've only spent what? Started out at 65, so yeah, we spent probably around 13,000 for rebuilding this car. But I really do think that we would have spent a lot more if we was uh, having to actually buy everything as opposed to how he's able to just repair everything. So we got a couple things over here. I remember putting that sway bar in link in there. This rebuild is actually going pretty damn quick. Here we are just seconds away from having all the suspension, the body, the interior, the engine bay all put back together at 100%. The only thing left will be the motor. Now, granted, the motor is a little more tedious than the rest of the car, but it will take a few minutes to do. But still, that's pretty quick for the most part. Yeah, I think that's it, ain't it? My tire selection wasn't too god awful. Granted, I still don't like those wheels, but still. Yeah, where we at value-wise right now? Just out of curiosity. Ooh, we'd be losing money without the motor in it. Damn. Alright. Let me make sure everything's at 100% though. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm bad about watching that. Like, once you get through everything, you can go here and look at all your different parts. Yep, everything's 100% except for the stuff we haven't put on there yet. Yeah, we're good. Get this motor tore down, everything replaced. We forgot the real value of this car. Now the next car we'll probably do is, even if something repairs, we're going to buy the performance variant. So like this one here, I'm sure just about everything on this car is going to repair. The next build, we're not going to give two shits. If it's got a performance part, we're buying the performance part. You should have the money to do so. But I really think that you get your money back in it. I'm almost positive. At least on the console version, I'm pretty sure I looked into it and I actually did some builds just to see if that was possible. We also might even test out some of these aftermarket parts on here. Well, maybe I want the aftermarket parts. I don't know what determines how much those sell for and stuff. So. Unfortunately, a couple of the aftermarket parts I have to leave in the game because the quality of life mod just automatically put them in. So like the rear end, I didn't do that. It's just every car that uses that rear end must automatically have the that version of it now. Like I said, this is probably the most tedious part of it. Here's where it gets really tedious. Is underneath the valve cover here. Each individual rocker arm, and then I do know if you turn it sideways, it'll kind of speed it up a little bit. teardown's going pretty quick. And the good news is I already own the piston rings. For some friggin' reason. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is kind of pain in the ass too, all these rod caps and now I don't know about now with the quality of life mod, but typically your pistons and piston rings aren't repairable. But for whatever reason, at least in the vanilla game, these rod ends were, or these rod caps or whatever. I thought it was weird. Alright, let's get everything repaired. Bam. Alright. Alright, so like I said, water pump repaired. Push rods, we need 16 of those. Timing cover is not repairable in this. A little weird. Starter pulley, belt. Spark plugs, I know we need 8 of those. All our rod caps repaired. Rocker arms, we need 16 of those. Fan repaired, this repaired. Like I said, we need 8 of those. I've already got 8 rings. Thanks, right? 5. Yep, already got the rings, so let's not worry about those. Oil pan looks good. And this, these, that, that. Already got a flywheel that repaired anyway. Off. Crankshaft pulley. Crankshaft looks good. We need one of these, one of these, one of these. Clips. Cam gear. And that. Alright, so First thing I'm gonna do, shit that we have to buy anyway, or buy performance if they have it. Let's take a look here. Get rid of that first of all. I don't think there's those. There are no spark plugs. Let's get 80 of these bad boys. Some of the stuff I'm just checking because I don't know if the quality of life mod might have added it. I know those were in there. Condition wires will be in here. Distributor should be in here. Fuel filter be in here. Pistons will be in here. Need 8 of them. This will be in here. This will be in here. Okay, I don't think the rest of this stuff is in here. If it is, I don't seize it. And some of the stuff could be like the other thing where it might be in here and but you just have to get it manually. But we're not going to go that deep into it. So let's go get some of this other stuff we know we need. 16 of these. 8 for each side. This. This. Need 16 of these. Pretty sure there's a aftermarket crank pulley too, but we're not gonna really worry too much about it this time around. Need one of those and one of these. That should be everything, I do believe. Alright. Alright, let's slap this baby back together. Alright. This is one where I'm probably going to have to try to pay a little more attention just to be sure I'm using all 100% stuff. Oh shit. Oh man, I hate when I accidentally click somewhere. one thing I will give the makers of this game a little bit of credit on is they did get most of the anatomy of the engines correct on this. I mean, for the most part, if you're somebody who doesn't know much about motors, you can play this game and you can learn a lot for the most part. At least as far as where things go and how things move together. I just don't think they try hard enough. Almost done. Most of the hard, tedious stuff is over with. We're getting there anyway. We spent almost 20,000 repairing it so far. Over a couple grand off, but good news is I don't have to buy nothing else, so that number ain't gonna change. So it's gonna remain probably right around 18,000 to repair. Alright, I think that's it. Yep, pretty sure. Get off there. You can look through here real quick, make sure you got everything at 100. I'm pretty sure if you don't, I think it starts off in the hundreds, and then if you have anything that ain't, I think it'll be here at the bottom somewhere. Don't quote me on that though. I think that's how it works. Also, I apologize for having to clear my throat so much. I don't know what's up with me tonight. I'm pretty sure this is it. I think this is the last part to put on here. Alright, let's find out. Yep, it looks like that is everything. Thing is 100%. Yeah, I bet I don't have to let it down to move it out of here. Alright, so this baby is completed. Now, everything is 100% except for the frame. Like I said, the frame is not going to help us any as far as money goes. We will actually lose money if we fix the frame, because it's going to cost me more to weld it than it will increase value. Which looks pretty nice. We also have not added fluids, so adding the fluids don't cost a whole lot, but let's see if it adds any value to the car. Sale value is now 99,533. So I'll tell you what, let's go get all our numbers first. Then I'll think about it. Let's go get our numbers, get all that stuff calculated. So the end value of the car, 99,533. Our ending bank balance, 47,616. So 65,461 minus 47,616, 17,845. That is what it cost us to repair this car. Okay? And then the actual profit. Let's see. That's what it costs us to build. Ending value 99,533. Our starting value is 62,744. I should have wrote all this shit down on actual paper instead of my phone. 36,789. 36,789. Okay, so that's the difference in value. You know, because our starting value was 62,744. Our end value is 99,533. But in order to get your actual profit, you're going to take that new value and subtract the cost to build it. So you got to watch the numbers on here because they're kind of misleading. It's saying we made 42,000. We really didn't. Let's see, what did it cost to build 17,845? 18,944. So our actual profit was 18,944. And that was actually, it's actually a little more than that really, because our starting value was actually more than we paid. 62,744. we was already making a profit of 57.14 on it anyway. Plus the 18,944. So technically we made 24,658. $24,658 is our technical profit on it. Now I wish this game was a little more in depth with calculating this stuff up for you, because it's kind of misleading. When you look at it, you see a profit of 42,000 because that looks good. I wish we would have made 42,000, but technically we didn't. By the time we put almost 20,000 in it. But we still made a pretty good amount. Now I'm trying to think. I don't know. I feel like maybe we did make more with the other cars, even though we had to pretty much rebuild them from the ground up. Had to replace a lot of stuff. Just given that we didn't pay as much for it, I do hope to maybe find that out on one of our next cars. But still, yet we're getting ready to sell this car for 100,000, and we'll have plenty of money to rebuild this next one, and we'll just keep cruising on up. So let's go and sell this one. Get her out of here. Well, actually, hold on. Let's see if just out of curiosity, let's see if adding fluids changes anything. I don't think it will. I think at most all it's going to do is take away a little bit of our profit. Because each thing costs just a little bit of money. Yeah, it's not a lot though. 15 bucks there. But I'm just curious if it adds any value. If it doesn't add value, then any car we rebuild will not get fluids added. Another 14 bucks. Another 14. This one might be a little more than 14, but I don't know. The only one after this would be coolant. No, 14 as well. Man, I wish that's all oil costs in real life. Shit, most vehicles take like 8 quarts now, and it's almost $40 for a 5-quart jug, depending on what oil you're getting. Did that go down? I think it did, didn't it? Alright, so all our fluids are now filled. Price still the same, so yeah, any other cars we go to rebuild for money, as soon as we're done building it, we're not going to worry about any of the fluids. They don't really increase the value. If we was keeping it, obviously we would go ahead and fill them, but just for buying and selling, we're not going to worry about it anymore. Alright, send her on down the road. Damn, look at that. Up to 150,000 already almost. Alright. Now, what time is it? It's actually 10:30 here where I'm from. I'm trying to decide if I want to go ahead and rebuild this one now. Save it for the next one. I do have to work in the morning. Oh, you know something I didn't do? Man, I'm such an idiot. Man, I'm such an idiot. See, that's why I should have planned this out a little more. I have all kinds of shit that I could have sold in my inventory. That I'm not going to get a lot of money for, but I still would have got some money for it. See how much we would have got. $24.48. So technically, you can add another almost $2,500 onto whatever we got in profit. Yeah, so we probably made more like 27,000 off that car. It's not bad. Not bad. Like I said, with this car, we're going to do everything performance wise. We're going to buy every performance part. Every performance part we can, we're going to buy for this car. Although I'll be honest, the last car would have been the better one to do that with because it had the supercharged motor. What we can maybe visit is possibility of replacing the motor in this. Nope, not even any swap options for this car. That is sad. This is sad. I almost don't even want to do that with this car now. This may just be a rebuild. This may just be a rebuild, and then maybe maybe just a quick rebuild on this one. Maybe we won't even keep track of the what we make on this one. And then on the next one, we'll try to find us a good supercharged car to do it with. Matter of fact, how about in order to kind of break up working on cars and stuff, let's go ahead and let's go look at the auction and see what we got. We'll take a look at some car auctions. We can also do barn finds. Um, barn finds probably actually pretty good for the car rebuilds just because sometimes you can't get them cheaper than what their value is, and they're usually worse shape. So maybe take a look at some of these. Because like I said, when we go to buy our next cars, we'll try to get the same cars, but we'll get one from this auction that's going to be really shit. Putting it nicely, it's going to be pretty shit. Oh, here's one of my drag cars. Now we're not going to buy any of those just because I don't think that. I mean, all I did was modified it in car editor, so it shouldn't be too god awful different. But even with that being said, I don't want to do anything that could be semi-cheating or anything. So this one right here would be a good candidate. It's the car we just built. Drag build car. With probably almost everything needs replaced on it. So you'd have to buy just about everything for this car. But you're probably going to get it kind of cheap. Let's see what else they got though. The Mach 1. Also kind of go by the starting price. Although I wouldn't really pay that much attention to that because I guarantee this car is going to go for a lot more than that one would. The same thing with that one, Ford of Mercy. Maybe I should try to get one of these. These are vanilla to the game. They come with one of the DLCs. And I'm almost positive they sell for good money. But the problem we might run into is I don't know how much it costs to repair everything on one of these cars. The parts are ungodly expensive, if I'm remembering correctly. But once you do get it repaired, it usually, a couple $100,000 in profit, I think. Okay, so, well, what I seen really in here that I'm interested in right now would be the one drag build car. Where's that at? Alright, here's supercharged. This one I think is actually technically the one we just redid. Which kind of makes me think that that last car might have actually been one I'm edited. But actually, this one would be the one we would get. Oh yeah, she's pretty busted ass too. Alright, let's go back to this one, see what we got in here. Pretty sure rebuilding these nets you a pretty good profit, I believe. Um, Nope, there's supercharge. So we may have to do that. We may have to go and buy these, shouldn't we? Got 150,000. I mean, it's almost like a sign. We have supercharged here and a supercharged over there. Even this one ain't. Man, this one is nowhere near the shape that that last one was in. Jeez. The last one looked good. This one looks like ass. Hmm. We might still do it. Might still do it. It will do. Let's see what this one goes for. If I can get it for very little over the estimated value, then I'll get the other one. Let's go ahead and we're gonna get our free XP real quick. We can. No reason not to get this little bit of free XP. Alrighty. Estimated value of 21,000. I absolutely will not go over 25. Oh, it's time to shoot a get off the pot. This is it. I ain't getting no more. Damn, I said I wasn't gonna get over 25. Then I got over 25, but I really wasn't gonna hit. I wasn't gonna get it again. So if it would have went any more, I wasn't getting it again. All right. There's nothing. There's not even a motor in this one, dude. So this one is the epitome of literally you have to buy everything just about. It does not even have a scrap of the motor in it. Oh my lord, bro. I'm not gonna. I don't want to pay over 10 for it. Man, I probably just overpaid for that son of a bitch. Alright, let's go see how bad we did. How bad did we just screw ourselves? I paid more than estimated value for both cars. So we may end up starting out in the red when it comes to rebuilding these two. Since both these are supercharged models, when we do go to rebuild these both, I want to do both of them all performance parts. All performance parts. Anything that has a performance part, get put on there. Let's start off with this one. Absolutely zero motor in it. Gone. This one is the epitome of buying everything performance or buying everything. We're even going to put the most expensive seats in it, most expensive steering wheel. Even if the non performance part, even if it repairs, we're still buying the performance part and we would just sell it. Alright, so let's see how bad I got fucked on this one. It's in real bad shape. And I paid $1,260 too much for it. So yes, I will be starting out in the red on that one. Let's see how bad I fucked up on this one. Oh shit, even worse. God damn. So the estimated value was actually relatively close on this one. You remember it was like 21 something, and I paid 26 for it. So the estimated value was damn near on the money, and I overpaid out the ass for it. So it happens. It happens. You know, the estimated value was pretty much right on the money with this one too. It was right around 7. So I don't know. That's our next two builds though. Um, at least ones that we're gonna pay attention to money on. Next time I get on, I'll probably just do a quick rebuild on this one, get it flipped and out of here. Even though technically I can sell it now and still make 4,000 profit off of it, but I still think it in the end, even if I rebuild it, it takes a little bit of time, but I still made like what 26,000 on the other one rebuilding it. So in the end, it's worth it to still go ahead and rebuild it, even though I can make profit off of it now. But regardless, that is for a different day. I got to work in the morning, so probably go and get off here for now. But hopefully, if anybody actually stumbles on this, hopefully you enjoy at least getting an idea of what you can do to get to where you start making money in this game. We're actually already past that point. Now it's just a matter of finding the right cars to buy and flip, and we'll be at freaking $1 million in no time. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.